All right, great. Yeah. So I'm signed into GYMagic right now, our GUI designer tool, and I've got one of those zebra labels open. Pretty famous one, ship label 01. Everyone's probably seen this one. So just to show you my GYMagic here, I've got one of the many zebra labels that Chuck was mentioning. If I go to open, you can see I've got a huge list here of all the different labels that Manhattan's already designed for you, and you get all these whenever you get MarkMagic with Manhattan's WMOS or WMI. So large collection of zebra labels for you. So, but we were talking about was being able to take these existing zebra labels, and you want to print on that new Sato printer. So rather than having
it's not really new, it's kind of old. New for everyone here.
Well, it's good. Sure. So the Sato driver that we've been mentioning to you to be able to print on the front and back. So I'll take one of these zebra labels and copy it over to our zebra driver, or a Sato driver, excuse me. So GYMagic will do format copy. And I'm just going to pick my zebra label that I want. I will do the ship label 01. Keep it in the same library. And you can see, I pulled on the list here, what driver do I want to copy it to? And you can see all the bunch of different zebra drivers, and there's a whole bunch of other MarkMagic drivers too. And it's the Sato GY412T. That's the driver in MarkMagic that all the Sato code's going to come out of now. So I've copied over to that new driver. I'll keep the format name the same. Let it do its thing. So we have the shipping label copied, and why not also copy the carton content label? We'll do format copy from the zebra driver, carton content, where it is. And these are all the labels that they've designed for you. There it is, carton contents, MarkMagic data, keep everything in the same library, and copy it over to GY412 again. Keep the name the same. Yeah, so I've just copied two of my most popular zebra labels over to Sato, and they're out there available to print now. I can open one of those up, format open. There's the two Sato. There's all the rest of those zebra ones that we saw before. So Sato, ship label 01, we'll open that one up. Looks fine. So there's one thing too that if you remember seeing on the previous slide, these are 4x6 labels. As you can see here, on the Sato printer, though, they use the 5" by 8" labels. So, a little tweak here that you'd have to do. You may also need to edit, make, a small tweak here or there to font size, maybe some positioning or what have you. But the big thing here is go in and switch the label to 8x5 now and hit OK on that one.
Yep.
And you can see it just gives you more room to work with. Obviously, then we need to put everything centered, so easy in GYMagic. I mean, just grab everything and drag it. There, boom, ready to go.
That's it. Did I do a good job of explaining that for the folks? Just on the label stock itself, it's really minor, but on the Sato printer, since it prints on the back as well, it actually has this border around it that you peel off the adhesive, and so it has to be wider, so that's why it's 5x8. Yeah. That's a very common piece or label stock that we've seen. So yeah, and you've already updated the format, it's ready to go. Okay.
Yep. So now it's printing a little bit bigger. Still 6x4 in the middle, but you need to make the size bigger in MarkMagic so that centers properly. So you'd have to do the same thing to the carton content one, but I'm not going to go there right now. Just want to show you how you implement these kind of labels now. And there's many different ways. Obviously, you could change the programming on your side if you really want to dig into all that and start digging through code and rewriting things. But if you want MarkMagic to handle all that for you, you can have it all done in PrintTransformer. Add-on option here. If you go into GYMagic, you can access the GUI for that, and I can handle all that with just a simple rule set. So in GYMagic is the interface to create and manage your PrintTransformer rule sets. And I've got one created out here already that handles detecting, first of all, if it should even be a Sato output. And if it is, switch everything to Sato, use the new formats that I just made, turn on duplexing, So if I look in the rule set here, there's two things happening. First of all, the checking to see, if it should even print Sato. So if I look at the front label here, if we look at the first rule, it's testing actual data that's coming in from the application. It's saying, there's a field on the format called version, and it's blank all the regular time, if you're printing zebra labels, but when you want to print the Sato stuff, the word e-commerce shows up in the data. So we're looking for that. In this case, it could be different, when you want to do it on your side.
Maybe it's just only when I ship to a certain customer, or if it's a direct to consumer, if there's something within your label data that we can use as a test or as a trigger, then all this will come true. And keep in mind, this could be just like your regular wave that you're printing. You wouldn't change anything. You're printing a wave of labels.
Yeah.
Print time, this rule will actually look through the data. I'm like, oh, all right, these 500 labels have to print, but these 6 over here, intermix through it, will actually have to go to the Sato printer or to somewhere else, really. You can go any place you want, but that's what Ken is showing, where it's just totally like seamless.
Yeah, so the rule is testing, looking for the word e-commerce. If it finds that, it says, oh, this label needs to be Sato. So it actually goes in and changes the print parameters. So, your Manhattan application is still calling MarkMagic with the command that would normally print a zebra label, one zebra label to one zebra printer somewhere out there. Except now we're stepping in and saying, hey, okay, we're going to do a little bit extra processing. Let's see, oh, this is a Sato one. Swap the driver to Sato, swap the format name to ship LBL01, and switch the destination printer to the Sato Duplex printer. And there's, one other thing too that you would need to do is actually turn on duplexing. So you can add a new action to say, hey, enable duplex, yes. So the rule is swapping everything to Sato and turning on duplex. And that handles the front. We're dealing with duplex, so we need to swap a different label on the back. And this rule set's using one of our nifty little extras in the PrintTransformer rules, which is called AND rules. It allows you to basically print again, run a totally new print command against the same set of data. So it's print once and print again, just fire off 2 labels from one print call basically. And that second label can be swapped on the back using the duplex that we just turned on earlier. And if we look in this rule, it's basically just saying always. There's a test to say always, so you don't have to really test anything and worry if it's true or not, because you always want that back one to be carton content. So you swap in the format name to carton content, printer type, the driver is Sato, and then that destination printer is the Sato printer. And we don't need to turn on duplex again. It's already enabled in that first rule.
So they'll print on the front and the back. I got a quick question here, actually, Ken. Question is, will this work with other drivers like Monarch or Avery?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So everything Ken is showing, yes, will actually work, except the duplexing part. I don't believe Monarch or Avery actually have a thermal printer that will print on the back. But certainly, everything Ken just showed, instead of printing on the back, it will just print on the second label. So you can intermix formats or totally change where things are going from this, Zebra, which Zebras are great printers, by the way. From the Zebra over to the Monarch, you can do all that. Yes.
Oh, yeah, and the tests are, you can test all sorts of things. Time of day, date. If it's after 8 p.m., start sending things out to a different printer out in the back of the warehouse rather than in front. So the rule sets are almost limitless with what you can do with it, testing and all the different things you can change about the rule, about your print job. So this one. And even for just enabling duplex, there's many ways to do it. This one, I just said, okay, how am I going to do it? I'll use an AND rule. Why not? Let's try it. Because I know I need the front and back. And it works. It's great.